it's Carolyn and welcome back to Contemporary Mama. Today's another episode in my monthly meal prep series, but today's video has a little bit of a twist because for the entire month of August, my husband and I are going to be completing the Whole30 program. So all of my meal prep recipes today are going to be Whole30 compliant. And if you're not familiar with that program, it is a 30-day eating program where basically you don't eat any processed foods. So that definitely means no cake, cookies, donuts, nothing like that. Definitely no grains. There are no beans allowed and no dairy. So you're eating a lot of meat, a lot of eggs, fruits, and vegetables, all very whole, natural, unprocessed food. So I am going to be getting a lot of food prepared today to kind of keep us on track. So I'm excited to share all of these recipes with you. If you have any amazing Whole30 recipes, please make sure you leave them down in the comments so that I can try them this month. I'm really hoping to make it the whole 30 days without cheating. So that's why I really want to be prepared and get a lot of food in my fridge so that I can easily grab it and I won't be tempted to cheat. I'm starting with making a big pan of hash brown potatoes for breakfast. So besides my spices, I have avocado oil, ghee, peppers and onion, red potatoes, and scallions. So I'm gonna get started by prepping all of my produce. I washed everything, of course, and then I'm gonna be cutting it up into bite-sized pieces. So since I'm making such a large batch, I am going to be doing 2 peppers and an entire onion, and I have about 3 pounds of red skin potatoes. I love using this type of potatoes because I actually prefer them with the skin on, so it just saves me some time peeling the potatoes. Once everything's chopped, I have it in a bowl and I'm adding a 1/4 cup of melted ghee as well as a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. And I'm gonna give that a really good mix to make sure everything is really well combined before I go ahead and add in my spice mix. Now here I'm using garlic powder, salt, cumin, chili powder, paprika, and a little bit of Italian seasonings. You can definitely use whatever you have on hand. I'll link the recipe in the description box if you want to get the exact measurements. I placed this on a foil-lined baking sheet and popped it into a 425-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and I did stop and stir it halfway through. While that was baking away, I decided to cut up some green scallions just to add a nice pop of color, and then I also decided to grab some chicken sausage. This was the only compliant chicken sausage I could find at Trader Joe's that had no sugar or any of the banned items on Whole30. So I'm actually going to cut up 2 packages of those and I'm going to be adding it to my hash browns. I thought this would just be a nice way to give myself a break so I'm not eating eggs every single day, and I absolutely love chicken sausage, so it worked out great. So after your potatoes have been in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, crank the heat up to 475 and then let those get nice and browned and crispy. And I also just popped the chicken sausage in at that time. It's completely cooked through, you just have to warm it up. I added in a big sprinkle of green onion, which gave it such great color, and added in my chicken sausage. And this was such a hearty, delicious breakfast that my husband and I enjoyed for days. Next on the agenda, I'll be making some hard-boiled eggs. I love making these in my Instant Pot. It is so easy. Just add in your wire rack, a cup of water, and as many eggs as you can fit in there. Just place them in there carefully. I think I did about 8 here. So you can just eat these for breakfast or as a snack, but I'm actually going to be making some egg salad, compliant egg salad out of these hard-boiled eggs. So I cook these on high pressure and then do a manual release and stick those eggs in an ice bath to stop the cooking process. I find this gives them the perfect hard-boiled egg texture with none of that green line in the yolk. So I peeled them all. I spared you that because that is so tedious. And then I'm going to be chopping up these eggs so that I can make egg salad out of them. And it came out so delicious. I can't wait to show you the rest of the recipe. So here I'm going to be chopping up some fresh parsley. This adds so much color and flavor. I got that really finely minced up. And then I'm also going to be slicing up some green onion pretty thinly. You only need about a teaspoon of lemon juice. I absolutely adore lemon flavor, so if mine had a little bit extra, I definitely didn't mind. And then you're going to grab your compliant mayonnaise. I love this one by Primal Kitchen, and then a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So I just gave that a little squirt, didn't really measure, and then you need about a half a cup of mayo. This was actually a little bit runny for my preference, so I ended up adding a few more eggs into it. But this was so creamy and delicious. I also added a little salt and pepper in there. I don't know if you caught that, but oh my gosh, this was amazing. I loved having it in lettuce wraps for 3 or 4 lunches this week. More mayo. As you can see, this Primal Kitchen mayo is expensive, but it is saving my butt, this Whole30. So what I'm doing here is actually making some Whole30 compliant ranch dressing. I thought I could do it in my NutriBullet. It was too thick, so I ended up using my immersion blender, but I will stick the ingredients up here on the screen, and this came out so creamy and delicious. You would never know it's not only healthy for you, but also Whole30 compliant. I'm also going to be making a tahini based salad dressing. This was seriously my favorite. It is so creamy and delicious. I'm going to be making this long after Whole30 is over. So again, I will have the ingredients up on the screen. You seriously need to run and get everything so that you can make this too. I ended up doubling the recipe as soon as I tasted it because I knew I was going to just run out of it so fast because it tastes so good. So just a quick word of warning, this does thicken up quite a bit when it's in the fridge, but I always just spooned a little bit out into a small bowl, added a little bit of water, and it thinned out perfectly. To go along with my lettuce wraps, I thought I would prepare some cauliflower tabbouleh since I obviously can't have any chips to go along with them. Tabbouleh is a delicious Middle Eastern dish. However, we are going to be substituting cauliflower to make it grain-free and Whole30 compliant. Now for this recipe, you are definitely going to want to use fresh cauliflower. The frozen cauliflower will just not give you the same texture. Luckily, most grocery stores these days are carrying this in the produce section. I'm adding my fresh cauliflower rice into a bowl, and I'm actually going to soften this up a little bit just by placing it in the microwave and microwaving it for 1 minute on high. Now when that's done, I'm going to add in about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice as well as a big sprinkle of salt, like a teaspoon or so. Mix that up and just let it marinate for about 20 minutes while you prepare the rest of the ingredients. Now for this recipe, I'm using half of an English cucumber as well as 2 vine-ripe tomatoes. The important thing is that you seed both of them so that it doesn't get watery. This was kind of time consuming to do with the tomatoes, but it's going to be worth it so you don't have a watery tabbouleh. Next up is the herbs, and I definitely underestimated the amount of parsley I needed. You need 2 bunches, as tabbouleh traditionally is very heavy on the parsley, but I just chopped up what I had really finely, and I tried to make up for it by adding a little bit extra mint. The recipe only called for about half a cup, but I think I added a bit more than that. All that's left is to add in a 1/4 cup of olive oil and a little bit more salt, and then you can add that marinated cauliflower back in, and your tabbouleh is ready to be enjoyed. All right, so here's how all of my meal prep turned out. Over here is the leftover of that chicken sausage breakfast hash brown meal. My husband and I both had it for breakfast this morning, and there is still a ton left. This is going to give us a bunch of meals, so that is great. Over here I have my 2 Whole30 compliant dressings. I'm sure we're going to be eating a lot of salad this month, so I'm excited to be trying out all these homemade salad dressings. So this one is that tahini dressing, and this is the Whole30 compliant ranch dressing. I have 2 leftover hard-boiled eggs. I could eat those for breakfast one day or as a healthy snack if I really need it. I have my Whole30 egg salad that I'm going to be eating for lunch. And then I bought this big head of iceberg lettuce because these are going to be like perfect lettuce wraps. They're so big. And then to go along with that, I have my cauliflower tabbouleh. This is going to be a great side to complement my lettuce wraps for lunch, and it's also super tasty. So that is it. I'm probably going to cut up some vegetables later to use for dipping and snacks and salads, but I'm just too tired right now and my kitchen is a mess. So that's going to be the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this Whole30 meal prep. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you are on the Whole30 program or thinking about doing it, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because I have more Whole30 content coming the entire month of August. So you aren't going to want to miss that. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on Tuesday with another brand new video. Bye!